Going on YouTube, Evan here with Cloud9 Aquariums. I just got home from work, and on the way home I decided I was going to pick up a couple fish. Now, because I did this and this doesn't happen every day for me, I thought it'd be cool to show you how I transition my fish. So this is how I like to acclimatize my fish. It works very well for me. I never have any problems with it. It takes a little bit of time, but you know what? It's your fish, so you should take some time. Alright, so for the 30 tall, I just picked up some auto cats, because it's time to get rid of some of this algae problem that I've been facing, and there's something I can't do just lights, to get rid of it. So here we go. Now I got my drip method going on already. You can see the little buggers are already stoked and ready to go. Now what I like to do for this, real simple. I take my bag of fish, I pour them in to this little container right here, okay? Just a little I don't know what it was, probably Cool Whip or something like that. Right, just a little container, pour them in there, and then I run a drip. Now this is just airline tubing I got running into my fish tank. Now what that's doing is letting them slowly acclimatize. The key word here is slowly, because the two things that kill fish the most are completely different balances from your tank to their home tank, and trying to get them to switch very quickly. Rapid changes will kill them. Now a lot of people think, I'm going to let you check out my fish tank while I'm talking. A lot of people think that, if you match your tank exactly, you go to the pet store, you say, okay, what's your exact temperature, what's your exact pH, and then they come home and they change all their thermometers around, and they get it so everything's, they got the exact same temperature, and then they pour in a bunch of pH up or pH down, trying to, level their pH out with the same one as the pet store, and blah, 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 blah. And then the fish die. I don't understand. Now, there's one thing that most people will do that pretty much everybody knows to do is they'll float their bag in the water. Now, the reason they do that is to acclimatize the temperature. They want to equalize temperature of the water in the bag that the fish are in to the water that they're about to go into. Now, that makes sense because you don't want to shock them. Now, the other thing is people don't think about is the water chemistry can shock them too. So if you just dump them in this tank, if the chemistry is different and some fish aren't so hardy, they're not going to take it very well. They may look fine for a few minutes. A couple hours later, you come back and a couple of them are belly up, and you don't understand. Well, that's probably what happened. You probably shocked them. Fish don't do well with shock. Actually, neons really don't do well with. They're not very good transporters, but you'll see all my neons are doing great, and I don't lose them when I transfer them. The reason I do that is because I do this. Now, I only do this for about 15 minutes, and this is doing both things, because not only is this equalizing the chemistry of the water, so pH and all that, but it's also equalizing my temperatures too, so that's great. It's doing both things at once. The other great thing, which I really don't like, is I don't want pet store water in my fish tank. Now, for those of you who work at pet stores and stuff, I'm not trying to offend you. I know your water is as good as you can make it. But with that high of a turnaround, there's some stuff in your water that I just don't want to even risk giving to my fish. Okay, so this is the biggest tip that I think most people know, but if you never heard this before, here you go. Do not pour water from the pet store into your fish tank. Do not just come home from the pet store, la-di-da-di-da, and just pour your fish into the water. Okay, that's just so many bad ideas. You're probably going to kill your fish, and then anything that was in your tank could die from some ridiculous disease. Not saying all pet stores have diseases, but there's just a lot of high turnover through the stores, and you never know what could be in that water. So it's just not really worth the risk. Why? That's literally it. Why? It takes 5 seconds. Don't worry about it. Okay, so after we acclimatize our fish, now they're ready to go. All I'm going to do now, because I have a 2-bucket method, which is great, I can just take that little bucket. I'm going to hold, I can't do this for you right now because obviously I have to hold the camera, which I didn't think about, but all you got to do is just hold a little net, and then you're going to pour your fish through the net, and then the rest of the water is going to go into the big bucket. Now all you got to do is take the net and put it in your fish tank and let them swim free. What I like to do also to minimize shocking is I will turn the lights off in my tank, and I'll leave them off for about 15 minutes when they first go in, just so that way all other fish in there kind of chilled out a little bit, and the new fish can have a chance to kind of check it out without being shocked by your bright lights or whatever. You know, even if you're not running something ridiculously bright, it's still nice just to give them kind of a dark atmosphere so they can relax. The key here is to keep your fish relaxed, okay? You know, just because you're relaxed about your fish tank doesn't mean they are, because it's a new environment and you want them to have the best experience possible when they're moving. Alright, so it's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, but the major thing I want you to get from this is use the drip method. It only takes about 15 minutes to do it, and it works every time. If it doesn't work for you, I'm sorry. You must have had a fluke, maybe had some bad fish, but it's always worked for me, and it works so much better than just floating, because now they're completely acclimatized, and hopefully they'll transfer very well. So I hope next time you go out and get some fish, you get to use this method. It works out great, and let me know how it goes. As always, please subscribe if you haven't yet. Leave comments. Let me know if you like this method, or if you have something else you like to use. But this is the one that works best for me. Alright, so hope you guys are having a great week. I know I am, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope this video keeps you and your fish a little bit closer to Cloud 9.